folded and packed and placed on a table on her front porch. Glendora returned the flag to the pole and flew it again. Time passed, and another day she came home, and the flag was down, folded and on a table on her front porch. Landlord defendant Godfrey S. South said he did not want the flag to fly. South is from Jamaica and spent considerable time in England, so Glendora joked about his being a Brit. But underneath her Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine heritage as a Folsom, 1640 circa, her conscience needled her. It bothered her all winter. Today, Flag Day, June the 14th, 2001, Anno Domini, 9 a.m., like Iwo Jima, Glendora hoisted the Stars and Stripes again. At 7 p.m. when she came home, the flag was off the pole, folded, and on the floor in front of her door. This is beyond toleration. The American flag has to fly every day. Count 1. Count 2. It certainly has to fly Flag Day, June the 14th. That's count 2. And the American flag should not be placed on the floor. It should it should never touch the ground. And that's count 3. Now you want to know what count 4 is? When I went out this morning, June the 15th, I put up my other flag, the one that I used to use here in the museum. And I put that up with duct tape. I came home in about 45 minutes. It was gone. That's count 4. And this time there's no trace of the flag. Now the second cause of action. South discriminates against white people and against this white person of European American ancestry. This is count 5. The affirmation affixed hereto is a plenary account as to the nemesis and the genesis of defendant's conduct. The affirmation affixed hereto is a plenary account as to the genesis of defendant's conduct. Paragraph 19, Rule 8 notice complaint. Pursuant to Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, this is a Rule 8 notice complaint. Service by the U.S. Marshal. Plaintiff is in form of pauperous. Motion to proceed as IFP is attached. Pursuant to 28 U.S. Code Section 1915, plaintiff requests service by the U.S. Marshal of summons and complaint. Relief requested. Wherefore, plaintiff requests $3 million in punitive and compensatory damages. The deportation of defendants. The resolution of pendent state claims in her favor, as stated in the affirmation affixed hereto. The cost of this action, and state yours in truth. The cost of this action, and all further relief just and proper. And then we go into the affirmation, which was read for you yesterday and finished today, and that's about 60 pages. And that's in the United States District Court, District of Vermont. Here's the whole thing so far. And this afternoon I will serve this on South. Let me find his copy. country south. Now, let me find you some jokes. Why did the inventor cross a TV set with a microwave oven? So he could watch 60 Minutes in a quarter of an hour. And Goodyear and IBM should merge so that they can make a computer that makes snap decisions. And they have cars that talk, and they have scales that talk. Why can't they make a washing machine that talks so it can tell you what it did with the other sock? And they should print tax forms on Kleenex for those of you who have to pay through the nose. He was a specialist in his former job. He used to put the one cashew in the can of mixed nuts. And what does your boyfriend do? He's a plant manager for IBM. It's his job to water them every day. And Bill said he used to work for the New York Times. Really? Yeah, well, it's very impressive. And then they took his route away from him. They would open a new Disneyland in Tokyo, but the seven dwarfs would tower over the natives. Hey, this is Chat with Glendora on Friday the 15th of June. And it's 3:15 p.m. And the videotaping's all up to date, all the reports. And so, folks, we served this miserable landlord at 4:48 p.m. On Tuesday, what day was it? Wednesday. Flag Day? Or was it Thursday? Anyway, we got it all done. And we served it on him. I served it on him. I took it to him as he got out of his car and I said, "You are served." And that put the matter at rest. And I'll give him 3 days. And if he persists with this madness and this petulance and this frivolity, then I will call the building inspector. And I will I will picket him in front of his church. I will picket him in front of this apartment, and I should think that would have a serious effect on anybody to whom he rents it. Maybe not. And I will picket him at work at Yonkers Hospital. And we looked at we bought the so-called newspaper, and we cut out the rentals and pasted them all up. I'll show it to you. we cut out the ads. We put down the telephone numbers because it's hard for us because Gannett is so cheap and makes these ads so small so they can make more money that they're totally impractical. And then we write down what the people say. That's page 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Every day we do this. We make about 30 calls a day. And this is what we ask them. Available when, renovated, laundry, parking, how much, utilities, storage, and neighborhood. What's the neighborhood like? And the lease. Let me mark that down when I think of it, if there's a lease. And now in doing this, I find out what we need. Okay? We need, there was an ad in Weichert had an ad. I hate going through agents. Federal courtroom. Stupid Caligy doesn't even know that 283 Soundview is not Glendora's address. You would be stupid to sign such a stupid proposed order. Additionally, there are multitudinous other legalities you, Caligy, and former reports to you. But I think I remember, well, that the landlord was served on Thursday at, or was it Friday? At 4:58 p.m. He was getting out of his car. I went to him with the paper. I handed it to him and put him on the roof of his car and said, "You were served." And he picked it up with his hand. And I left without a word. Okay. Now, we haven't heard from him until last night, and I'll read you that. This is the file on it. And Franklin and I got the newspaper, if you can call that thing that Gannett puts out a newspaper. And we started telephoning the rentals. And we cut out the rental columns and cut out the ads. And we paste up the ads because the newspaper is so big and very difficult to handle, the way landlords are, and cable TV operators and lawyers and judges. And then we call each one and we do the whole paper until it's done for the day. And this looks to me like over 70 calls that we have made. We went to look at one apartment. It was nice, but it was too small and it didn't have a private entrance. And these are the calls that Franklin made. Yes, that he did them all himself. I bought the newspaper and he did the calling. And I have found out now, folks, what it is we need. Weichert had an ad in here. They're a real estate agent. They had an ad in here for renting a house in Bedford, up about 25-30 minutes from here. $3,000 a month is a rent. It has an apartment that can be rented, Weichert said, for $1,500 a month, and 2 acres and all the pets you want. Okay, this is what we need. If we can't find a home for Acumen and Rusty, we're going to need this. This is the most ironic thing. In trying to find a home for Acumen and Rusty, 2 dogs, and trying to find a home for 2 dogs, we lost our home. So this is what we need, and we're going to continue to look for that kind of a property. And then we'll rent apartments or rent rooms, whatever, to pay for it. And so I would say to date, we spent 10 hours on rentals and 20, something like $20 in telephone calls and gasoline. No, it's more like 30. And this is the 19th of the month. So that's what's been going on here. Last night this note was at our front door, since we don't have a private mailbox. And it says, your package of documents, this is from the landlord, dated June 14th, 2001, given to me at 5:05 p.m., June 15th, 2001. I think that's wrong. I think it was June 16th, Friday. Has too many issues, questions, and comments for all to be at this time. One, the last check for $24 for the condos and for the apartment downstairs was for April and May. 2, regarding the basement apartment, to repeat, when you came, I told you that the gas only is connected to your meter. I don't remember that he told us that. 3, I have the glass for the window and will replace it soon. 7 months, a cracked window in a place that costs $45 a day. When we call the apartments to rent, this is what we ask. When is it available? Is it renovated? Laundry, parking, how much? Utilities, storage, neighborhood, what's the neighborhood like? And is there a lease? Okay. I think that brings the landlord-tenant issue up to date. Oh, no. I flew the flag on June the 16th, Friday. I put up another flag, and it was around noon. And I went up to see Rocky. I couldn't have been gone more than an hour, and the flag was gone. The flag was pulled down from the flagpole. The flag was nowhere in my view. Whoever pulled it down kept it. Now there's another one. That's good. That really helps the lawsuit a whole lot. After the landlord was served this summons and this complaint, the second flag appeared. And the first flag that was disrespectfully put on the ground, on the floor, was taken off of the floor and put on the desk. And the second flag was put beside it. Okay, up to date on the landlord. Now, Robert Goldberg says that Cablevision should run employment ads that read like this. career opportunities at Cablevision. The local origination department seeks a small number of special folks to work at censoring the video programs that residents submit for showing on our designated public access channels. These key positions are offered exclusively through Public Access Movement Notes. That's his newsletter. Background: for years we broke the law, meaning we, Cablevision, by not having a public access channel. Who needs it? No profit. Then we designated a channel, but tried to keep it a secret. We put on country music TV to discourage anyone from watching that channel again. And still, they submit tapes. What's wrong with these people? Now that the Public Service Commission and courts stand ready to pounce on us, we have adopted a new strategy, but we need some employees who can be trusted. So we are looking for a few men and women to help discourage the community from submitting independent programming by having unconscionable rules that challenge perfectly legitimate programs. If you can fill the bill, we will be happy to pay you whatever you ask. Pay raise reviews come every 13-week cycle when we dislodge viewers by shifting programs around. Very good humor, Robert Goldberg. Censorious lawyer. Whereas this position requires a person with a degree from a school that develops skills for gumming up the works and ensuring that justice never raises its ugly head, and whereas recognizing that all we need to deny justice is to delay it, resolve that we will hire you, whether from a day or evening, law review or mail order school, whether you cheated on exams or took the licensing exam 8 times, and for as long as you do what we want you to do. IRS or FBI or serving a dictator, experience preferred. Access censor. If you are a person who can't go by a picture frame without straightening it, who is basically hostile to other people, who thinks Giuliani has done a great job, we want you. Bonuses paid for knocking out regularly scheduled programs, and no experience needed. These are the on ads that Robert Goldberg wrote, that Cablevision, the kind of people they're looking to hire. Apprentice censor. If you are young and unsure as to what you might want to do in this life, give us a try. Your day will be spent watching non-commercial videos and looking to find infractions of our inane, voluminous rules. If you don't find a violation, make something up. If your name is Dolan, you will advance very quickly. Playground bully experience preferred. Reply in confidence. Attention, access hater. Cablevision Systems Corporation. Next legal paper was Glendora versus Levin. Now this is a case where Gerald Levin and AOL Time Warner and Media One and Cablevision and Adelphia violated the intent of public access by not cablecasting non-resident programs. You see, they'll do anything to cut down on public access so they can have the channel for a commercial purpose. And I sued on this action, first of all, in Los Angeles, and the United States District Court there acted as if they were on dope, if they were inebriated, or they acted as if they were drunk. And so then I filed it again in another one just as bad, the United States District Court in Detroit. And it fell into the hands of a screwball judge named Gerald E. Rosen. And Rosen dismissed the case, and he never ruled on its merits. And so I excoriated Rosen, and I wrote a judicial conduct complaint against him, Title 28 U.S. Code 372C1. that a judge is unfit to be on the bench, that his conduct inhibits the effective and expeditious administration of the business of the courts. Their business has to be justice. And what else did I do? And I filed this notice of appeal with the attachment. And I get a notice from the United States District Court in Detroit that I hereby certify that I have mailed copies of the notice of appeal in the above entitled cause, Glendora versus Levin, to the person listed below. United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit, Potter Stewart, U.S. Courthouse, 100 East 5th Street, Cincinnati, Ohio. The deputy signs this or puts initials, and I said, it's illegible. What is your name? You should sign in full, and you should print it. And this is not the designated address. And enclosed is my notice of appeal of Rosen's puerile, senile, prejudiced, incompetent, degenerate, dehumanized, apostatic, rife with error, fraught with abuse of discretion, unconscionable order of such and such date, May 15th. And they sent the docket. And the docket's pretty good. It's better than usual. And so that's Glendora versus Gerald Levin. And what did I do after that? Well, up came the refile, Omnibus 3. And so I rebrought the case. And where did I do that? In the United States District Court, Western District of New York, Buffalo. That's volume 3 of Levin. And look how heavy that is. Next piece of business. United States Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit. Case is Glendora versus James Dolan. But there's no such case as that. It's Galgano versus James Dolan. And this is infuriating. Chief Judge Woolman has sent me the materials you sent to the court on May 14th. I have referred the materials to the 3-judge panel which decided the case. I will advise you of any action the panel takes, including whether it authorizes me to release the judge's name to you. What? Since when is an appellant denied the right to know the names of the judges who messed up the case? Since when? And so I write to Orrin Hatch about this, and I write to the House Judiciary Committee about this. I write to a Matter of Justice, which is out to correct the corruption in the circuit courts, the circus courts. I write to Michael Brown about this. I write to the Center for Judicial Accountability about it, and I tell you about it. And this was on Flag Day. Folks, you don't have any courts. You have been robbed. You have nobody there to protect the rights that you have been given and that you have inherited. You have nobody there. Now, this legal paper is a whole lot of fun. I had to make out 14 forms to tell the
channel. Welcome to The Hidden Truth. Today we are going to read from the Doc Today magazine.
Put him on in Long Island. Okay. Yeah, I'll put him on in Long Island. I'll sponsor him in Long Island. Oh, well, I'm already doing that. Excuse me? Yeah, I'm already doing that here in his show. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Just some backed up a little bit. I guess when there's no work to do, there's even more work to do. Yes, that's right, Rich. Cablevision is expanding again a little bit. They're buying 5% stake in a company called iFilm, which has to do with independent film producers on the web. But somehow they're going to tie that in with the independent film channel that's owned by Charles Dolan, which I don't think is independent. Oh, where'd you read that? It was on Yahoo on the Cablevision informational website, or just Cablevision posting messages. I see. You can get Yahoo even though you're not working for that company. Oh, yeah, because I have it through my home computer. Oh, that's good, Rich. Yeah, you have to stay connected all the time with the things that you learn. We have to congratulate you because all through this public access kit that I'm getting a chance to read, now they keep saying New York excludes 72-hour rule. Right. So you have to be thankful for you to that. Well, thanks. Well, I was concerned that they were saying 5 days and all those other time frames. Oh, I know what it is. I'm just saying that we have to thank you for that because they